knew this video was coming.
I knew it would Why is Deepseek so? I understand that it is biased, right? That it is like a Chinese-based app, but why did it cause all of the markets to crash?
Ladies and gentlemen, it's late, it's dark right now, and ladies and gentlemen, Deepseek is one of the wildest surprises this week. For anybody that doesn't know, artificial intelligence is pretty much here to stay, and there's a lot of companies out there that are basically running to the top to create one day the artificial intelligence of our dreams. AGI, whatever the name is, tons.
Apparently, it's not going to be AGI. It's going to be ASI, Artificial Super Intelligence. Super!
Tons of companies are chasing this trend. Now, in the last couple days, a company by the name of Deepseek actually ended up making the news everywhere. It ended up basically turning the world upside on its head by releasing a free competitor to one of the largest actual competitors in the space, OpenAI. You know, the guys that make ChatGPT.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot to cover over here, so I'm going to kind of start from the beginning. Now, OpenAI has a bunch of models. One of the models they have is OpenAI O1, which is a model that's designed to spend more time thinking before they respond. And of course, it's one where, again, the AI will think, guide through its steps. It's designed to not only provide you better answers to your questions, but logically work through problems in a much more intensive way. And of course, it's not the only thing they do. If you followed anything AI related that I've covered throughout this, the time period, I've looked at things like Sora, I've looked at various models of ChatGPT, image generation, so on and so forth. Now, today, the reason I'm talking about DeepSeek primarily is that not only have the Chinese released this crazy artificial intelligence competition, but if you're reading at the top, it's not only live, it's actually open source, meaning that you can run it on your device locally with 100% privacy, independent of Chinese spying or American spying or really anything, which is...
That's what I'm saying. Like, if ChatGPT is the competitor of Microsoft Copilot, I agree, Jasmine. I think Copilot works better. I think Twitter's Grok works honestly the best that I've seen. DeepSeek sucked. They can't create images. It doesn't do videos. Like, I get that it's free, but it's really not that good. And the answers were biased. I asked in America, who's our leader? If you go into the Discord, I posted it. I said, who's our leader? And it's a JJ Ping. I said, I'm in America. And I left that thing speechless.
Something obviously.
Have you ever left an AI chatbot speechless?
It's important for me to teach you guys how to run AI locally. Now, I don't think AI is going anywhere, but I do want to make sure the stuff is super duper safe. And I always recommend that if you can self-host something like this, you should do it. Generally speaking, anytime you interact with ChatGPT, DeepSeek, or really any AI on the internet through web interfaces, you are giving up a whole chunk of your information. Any image you send over could be used for training information, stored for whatever reason.
So smart.
So I'm going to show you how to run all these things locally on your device so nobody can grab your information. And generally, when you're interacting with the stuff, if you've got the capable hardware, you don't have to send your information to any random place. But let's go even deeper into this.
Yeah,
now, a couple of days ago, OpenAI decided to announce something known as the Stargate Project.
How lit is that name?
Now, the Stargate Project is a new company which intends to invest $500 billion over the next 4 years building new AI infrastructure.
And they already got $100 billion to go right off the launch.
For OpenAI all the way throughout the United States. So they're going to be deploying $100 billion right now. The infrastructure will create leadership in AI, create hundreds of thousands of American jobs, and generate massive economic benefit for the entire world.
America, fuck yeah.
So yeah, that's a lot of money to be throwing, right? And at the end of it, they also announced that the big partners for them are going to be ARM, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Oracle, and OpenAI. These are key initial technology partners.
Glad I'm invested heavily in NVIDIA and Microsoft.
So with $500 billion, you might be wondering how much do the Chinese spend on something like DeepSeek? So according to the Chinese, it costs somewhere around $5.6 million.
That's it?
Which would be far less than apparently $100 million to $1 billion. One of the executives estimated to build a similar model last year. So again, ladies and gentlemen, it's kind of wild that this is the actual case. Because if we're spending billions of dollars on one end and the Chinese are somehow able to spend literally a tiny fraction of that, it kind of makes people wonder. So obviously, beyond their statements, nobody really knows what the real cost for it could be. The reality of it is this could be a very, very large loss leader just to simply test.
So why did it take America nearly
how Americans may choose to use artificial intelligence that belongs to another country. And of course, it could also be a situation where nobody is really going to know these deep costs, and this could be bankrolled by, again, larger hedge funds, larger parts of the Chinese government, and that could be used to ultimately become this loss leader that people will use. You know, even if they distribute this, which from what I understand, is basically free
Hello,
at the
you
moment.
missed the games. You
It
started out with the
literally could
games.
just be something where you chunk it, where you throw in a bunch of money just to drown out or scare your actual competition in the private space. So if you go to Deepseek's website over here, you'll see that they actually have been showing their capabilities, and in a lot of cases, they appear to actually beat out their competition. Not in every actual way. There's certain cases where obviously Sonnet, Claude, ChatGPT do actually end up beating out even like Meta's Llama, but DeepSeek's a pretty good competitor in this field so far. And
Okay. The issue is it's because DeepSeek doesn't have to act like a human and mocking human behavior. It takes a lot of the data that's requiring big servers and maintenance.
of course, to start it now, you can go to their website and just simply give your phone number, password. Well, actually, the phone number I believe has to be a Chinese number.
I could just understand like how the fear is that it's taking a lot of data and keystrokes.
But for a country, China, that
But I'm
bans
just like,
Google, they surely
why
do allow
why
you
does
to
America want to ban this? Like, I get that it's a Chinese product and that it's good, but just make the American products better.
use your American or foreign Google account to serve as a login method, which I thought was actually pretty hilarious. Now, because of how popular DeepSeek has gotten, it's like #1 in the App Store, super duper popular, and it's been disrupting the market so much that apparently they have been attacked with a massive cyber attack going on right now. According to DeepSeek, literally due to a large-scale malicious attack on DeepSeek services, we're temporarily limiting registrations to ensure continued service.
I wouldn't be surprised if America was behind that malicious attack. I'm not gonna lie.
Existing users can log in as usual. Thank you for your understanding and support. And obviously, with all of the advancements that they've kind of done, if you look very carefully at what they've done to the actual market, it becomes pretty apparent why they're getting attacked. Like, if you look at the NVIDIA stock, literally as I was making this video, they're just doing fine. They're doing absolutely okay. Boom! They drop like a rock. In the last 5 days, you're looking at a 14.8% drop.
Damn,
and to give you an idea, apparently, according to the actual analysts over here, you're looking at a $600 billion shedding for NVIDIA. Just imagine waking up that day with your NVIDIA bags and you're like, oh no, what happened? Why am I losing money? Obviously, some crazy bullish investor on Wall Street Bets is just rubbing his hands going, it's time to buy that dip.
No,
now, why
exactly
is NVIDIA suffering the hardest? Well, if you want to know how training these AI models come out to, one of the biggest tech companies, the people that create the hardware,
Jasmine, look
NVIDIA
at you being able to
create
think
these
further
massive
ahead.
GPUs
Hell yeah.
and these clusters that these companies buy for exorbitant prices to
That
serve as
actually makes sense.
training hardware for multiple AI. So it could be OpenAI, it could be Grok, or in this case, it could actually be DeepSeek, because
I'm a fan of Grok.
they've also used NVIDIA technology. But they've said they just spent $5.6 million on NVIDIA stuff. And how they apparently did that was because, so right here, the H800 GPU. So they're not using like the newest or the most expensive GPUs. They basically said that they can create something super duper efficient that requires, again, a fraction of that compute power. And the reason, again, why NVIDIA is falling is that usually they're able to flood the market with like tons of these chips. And now the market is realizing, whoa, maybe we're putting way too much, price, maybe we're putting way too much stock on how much each of these chips are needed. If you can get this DeepSeek stuff done with a fraction of the compute power and all the hardware, maybe the market should kind of correct itself. Cooking Boy here writes, H800 has a fraction of the computing power as the H100, let alone the new B200, and retails for cheaper with less profit to NVIDIA. If cutting-edge models can be trained on much less compute, then there is less demand for the highest profit margin, most expensive GPUs from NVIDIA. At least that's what the market fears, and I think that's the most succinct way to kind of put this. Now, since you can't access DeepSeek, V3 right now because of a cyber attack, if you have the hardware, meaning you have some serious, like actual, we're talking tens upon tens of thousands, if not more, dollars worth of hardware, you can go to Hugging Face and actually download the most, like, their actual model right now. So for instance, 325,000 downloads as of a week ago. This is a 685 billion.
Okay, so I was just super ignorant. So DeepSeek does have all of these other layers of AI and things that it can do, other different services and tiers that it has, basically. I just thought it had like a basic tier plan and it was just kind of incompetent, but apparently it has so much more.
Parameter model. So you can just download, again, DeepSeek V3 and try to effectively run it on your actual hardware. And some people, from what I've understand, actually have tried.
I don't think so with AI. I actually completely agree with Jasmine over here saying that things are going to change when AI gets conscious. I think the first step is AGI, the artificial general intelligence. But then that's not going to stop. That's not going to be the roof at all. That's just the going to the second floor. Going to the third floor is going to be ASI, which is artificial super intelligence. And then after that, I don't know. I could barely comprehend what the AGI is going to do, let alone what the ASI is. It's literally going to be like Ultra Instinct Goku.
but we're not going to do that. So to run Deepseek, it's pretty simple. First thing you need if you have, and I'm going to make this guide for people that are using Windows, which is the majority of my community, but of course, if you have Linux or Mac OS, you can also achieve the same thing. So inside here, if you want to run it, or if you want to run even things like Llama or Phi, download a program known as Ollama and just get it installed
what's up,
under your
Nama?
operating system. After this, go to a site, chatboxai.app, where you can download a chatbot AI that will interface with your Ollama server locally installed to your device. So once you've installed Ollama, all you can do is open up your start menu, go to the terminal, and inside your terminal, you want to type in Ollama run Deepseek R132B. Now there's other versions.
Damn.
32B is just something that I'm running on my system, but there are multiple different types. There's Deepseek R1:1.5B, which would be the smallest version, something that you could even run on a simple cheaper device. Then you can work your way up to 8 billion, 14B, 32B, and of course the smartest version 70B. So in this situation, of course, if you have the hardware that I have in my system, meaning 128 gigs of RAM, a RTX 4090, Ryzen 9 5950X, and a whole boatload of storage, then
Bro, stop flexing on me like that, man.
yes, you can run some of the more stronger parameters. But again, your mileage may vary depending on the hardware. So at this moment in time, when you open up your actual chatbot service, you can basically go to the settings corner at the bottom left.
I feel like I
and
look
then
like a monkey
inside
without
where
a
you get
tail.
the model,
Thank
you can go to your model provider and pick Ollama API. And if you have the actual Ollama Deepseek model installed, you can go down into this option and click whatever model you've installed and
I am
just
a
hit save.
meathead.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how easy it is to get a locally running AI on your system.
I'm glad it's that simple. I, my friends, am an idiot. I am lost on that. I would have to write that out step by step. And in all honesty, I'm gonna go ahead and share the rest of the video here in the links below because you guys got it. Like, this is a great video. I love Muda and everything. And if anything, thank you guys for kind of informing me on the different levels of Deepseek and why it is so bad. Baba Elrod failed the task. I didn't fail. Shit. They're projecting that old NVIDIA GPUs are enough for powering this, and that the fact that CCP is spending $140 billion a year to buy the latest NVIDIA GPUs in black, and yes, no critical tech is banned in China. Yes, no critical tech is banned in China. I don't know what that means. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then please like the video, subscribe, and if you really like it, then share it with some of your friends. My goal here is to spread a positive message while sprinkling my 2 cents on big topics like American, Indian, and world geopolitics, and even small stuff like Twitch drama and online debacles. And if you want to see it live, come join me over on Twitch. Twitch.tv/ActuallyElrod. That's where I'm going to do all my reactions, and after the reactions, that's where we get down a game. And if you're like, hey, I have a video that I want this dude to sprinkle his 2 cents on, then come over on my Discord and let me know and join the community there. And while we're at it, I have to say thank you to everybody who has made that Discord just so poppin'. I never thought I'd have a Discord that's so flowing. It's really cool to see. Shout out to you, Bobby, Omni, Demon, all of you who have been in there who are just super active. Logie, you're the man. Logie is the one who's like modding and helping run the server, so thank you, Logie. Lastly, I challenge you. I have a challenge for you. Make somebody laugh today. We all know there's enough hate and vitriol in the world. If energy is contagious like the flu, then let's spread and get everyone contagious with our positive energy, right? Not negative energy, because there's so much of that, and if we could just be a small little change in someone's day, then you never know. Maybe that's the thing that starts shifting this world to a happier, healthier, just better place. And with all of that said and done, thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.